Welcome to our Monday TNT, start of a brand new week. It's Monday the 18th of November. Thank you very much for joining us, and as far as we're concerned, we've got spectacular sunny weather here today, so hopefully it's okay where you are as well. Now, by all estimations, it seems it's going to be a very busy high season here in Thailand. As far as I'm concerned, I've got a lot of bookings, and I know I've spoken to quite a few hotel GMs, and they're all saying much the same, that they're pretty much booked out for the high season. Let's check this story from the Bangkok Post. Airlines to add 73,000 seats over New Year. And 6 airlines have agreed to add over 73,000 seats over the New Year period to ensure prices don't surge out of control during the end-of-year holiday season. Perhaps wishful thinking, you can be assured that these private companies are going to be selling those seats for as much as they can possibly get. The Transport Ministers asked Thai Airways, as well as carriers under the Airlines Association of Thailand, that's Bangkok Airways, Thai Air Asia, Nok Air, Thai Lion Air and Thai Vietjet Air, to boost the number of seats available between Bangkok and 14 key destinations, obviously including Chiang Mai, Phuket and Udon Thani. He says the airlines have agreed to boost seat capacity by increasing the number of flights and or adjusting the type of aircraft used. And the carriers, not including Thai Airways, will add 247 additional flights between December the 26th and January the 5th. That's going to add some 48,000 new seats during that period. Bookings available from today. But Thai Airways, they're going to operate larger aircraft on key routes, and that's going to add some 25,000 additional seats. Just interested if you've been making bookings with flights and accommodation during the high season, particularly around the end of December, the first couple of weeks of January. How have you found the costs of accommodation? How have you found the availability and the cost of flights? Please tell us in the comment section, as it looks like Daisy's weighing in with her thoughts on the matter. Speaking of which, here is Daisy 3 days after her operation, doing absolutely fine, but looking a little bit undignified in her plastic hat. But she'll have that off after the next 3 or 4 days and will make a full recovery. And for all those people that have asked, thank you very much for asking. Let's move on. The Bangkok Post reporting a Russian woman passenger has been punched by a Bolt rider in Pattaya. The Russian woman was assaulted by a Bolt motorcycle taxi driver after she told him to reduce speed for fear of an accident. The bottom line, she suffered a bruised face and a broken lip. It's also been reported in the PattayaNews.com, Russian woman punched by Bolt rider in Pattaya after asking him to slow down. Actually, just checking in on that photo there on the PattayaNews.com, I don't think that photo's got anything to do with the story. Their version says, according to her statement, the driver, a Thai man, was speeding, so she asked him to slow down as she feared she might get into an accident, especially since she was not wearing a helmet. Well, she has just lost a few sympathy points for not wearing a helmet. So this reportedly led to a heated argument, and the driver then stopped near a traffic kiosk and allegedly punched her in the face several times. And a bystander, identified as Mr. Surasak, a technician at the Royal Cliff Beach Hotel, witnessed the altercation and assisted Anna in filing her complaint at the Pattaya police station. Anna also recorded the incident, which revealed the attacker as a tall, slim man in his 20s with dark skin. The footage also captured the driver accusing her of not paying the fare before riding away. And the article says that Bolt Corporate, which is not based in Thailand, often considers its riders independent contractors, so it's unclear what actions they will take. And it's also unclear in that case what legal obligations they have and what action the Russian woman would be able to take with the company. Our first TNT of the week, and as usual, big thanks to 5-Star Marine at 5starmarinephuket.com. And this month we're promoting the Bioluminescence Tour. And I do hope to get that video out, hopefully before the end of the week, of my trip with 5-Star Marine. Well recommended if you are down south, if you're in Phuket, to take that Bioluminescence Tour. To a story, and I'll put a link in the description of this video from ThaiPBSworld.com. Interesting topic. Why alleged frauds involve more and more pretty young faces. Now, I'm sure you'll have your theory. Thai PBS World has theirs. And I'll read it as written. There couldn't be a simpler analysis of why an increasing number of suspected scammers are youthful and most of them are beautiful. New age crimes have become increasingly digital and sophisticated, and old people are more awkward, less efficient, slower and less well versed in using smartphones, computers, tablets or applications. So if you are older, like me, are you more awkward, less efficient, slower and less well versed in using smartphones? I'd like to think I'm pretty good with the new technology. Of course, if you are older, it's not as intuitive as for younger people who grow up with this technology all around them and starting at a very early age. But pretty unkind whack there from Thai PBS World. And the story goes on. This is a new world where some 100 people are falling victim to fraud using sophisticated expertise every hour. All contributing factors pointing to knowledge and roles of the younger generation. They include the rise of cryptocurrencies, the increasing prevalence of the dark web, the limited circle of cybersecurity professionals who can turn villains, and the rapid rise of artificial intelligence. So among a few other things, I'll put a link to that in the description of today's videos. You can read the rest of that article. But talking about why a lot of the people who are doing these crimes are younger and sometimes very pretty and beautiful, according to the article. Let's move on to our next story. And, well, once again in Pattaya, a few stories about Pattaya today. We go to cowsodenglish.com. 14-year-old burglar arrested for Australian condo heist in Pattaya, and a teenage burglar broke into an Australian businesswoman's condo and stole valuables valued around 4 million baht when she was out with her family during Loi Krathong. The story says police quickly apprehended the suspect, discovered the 14-year-old perpetrator had previously escaped from a children's home and had been committing thefts throughout Pattaya. And the Australian woman, a 40-year-old real estate businesswoman, arrived at the Pattaya police station to identify her stolen property after police notified her of the arrest. And she told police that on Loi Krathong night she'd taken her children and family to a pool villa in Bang Sarai. And when she returned to her condo the next morning, she was shocked to find her room ransacked and valuables missing from the drawers. We go to the PattayaNews.com for another version of the story, and they say it was a 10-year-old homeless boy arrested for stealing 3.5 million baht worth of jewellery from an Australian woman. Now here's a list of the things that were stolen: 2 Cartier bracelets, 1 Rolex watch, etc., etc. Some pretty valuable items. And upon questioning, the boy admitted to stealing the items from the residence, though he could not recall the exact location. He was taken into custody, brought to the Pattaya police station, along with recovered items, for further investigation and legal proceedings. And you'd have to suggest, if people are going to have these sort of valuables, just don't leave them lying around the house. And since we're in Pattaya, and thanks to Steve Ross who recommended this particular video, Pattaya Hero, a short film. Here's a very quick look. It's a video about the story as old as time, but told in a very inventive way. I'm not really going to say any more about it, but I'll put a link in the description. If you get a chance, if you've got, I think it's about 5 or 6 minutes long, I'd recommend you have a look because it's a little bit different from other videos you're going to see on YouTube. And I would be very interested to hear what you have to say about it. The production values, maybe how it's been put together, the story itself. So please, I do look forward to reading your comments in the comments section about Pattaya Hero. And just relating to that last video, well done to Logan in Thailand. I really enjoyed it, thought it was very inventive. There's a link in the description if you'd like to check out more of his work. Okay, to the BBC now, and a regional story. Super Typhoon Manyi makes landfall on Philippines' main island. And a super typhoon has made a second landfall on the Philippines' main island of Luzon, with forecasters warning of life-threatening storm surge. Heavy rains and severe winds had a maximum sustained wind speed of 195 kilometres an hour. It's about 121 miles per hour. And more than 1 million people have been ordered to evacuate since warnings were first issued. Man-yi is the sixth typhoon to hit the Philippines in a month, with at least 160 people known to have died in the 5 previous storms. Earlier yesterday, dozens of flights were cancelled due to the incoming storm, according to a local broadcaster. More than 500,000 people heeded evacuation orders ahead of the storm. So let's just check where Man-yi is at the moment. It's passed through the top of the Philippines, making its way across the South China Sea, heading, it looks like, towards the central coast of Vietnam. Now, there has been a few other super typhoons recently that have been heading into the South China Sea, but have sort of stalled, done a bit of a U-turn, and haven't actually made landfall at Vietnam, heading maybe towards Laos and Thailand. So that's the progress of Man-yi. We will keep an eye on that and see if it provides any threat to Thailand's weather over the next week. Thanks for watching today. Hopefully you're a little bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.